Alright. Ayo. It's like when Brandon used to say, Ayo. I'm still in your line, Brandon. So you just supposed to be doing. We start a new video because I don't want these things to take too long to download. So yeah, you shouldn't be doing things to kids, you know. And what we leave off with our story with Kylie. Ayo. What we leave off on the story? Oh yeah, so she was Charlamagne, and she in all these pictures, and then I'm seeing dudes, all these random dudes in the pictures, and I ain't got no room to talk because there's a random kid on my page I'm hooked up with, so I ain't got no room to be talking. But it's like, you know, we supposed to be married. Why are we with other dudes and other women and shit? You know, so I don't have any pictures on my page of me and other women, other girls, but I'm always with other women, other girls when I'm out. So I'm like talking to God, like, how is Kylie my wife? And we're not physically together. So yeah, every time I go look at her page, I'm not there, and I'm getting discouraged. And I'm getting discouraged about. Let me tell y'all something about me y'all didn't know. Something about me. Mama raised me that you gotta have a job in order for anything to go right in your life. Not love. She didn't preach about love. She didn't preach about Now she did say one time, I don't want y'all to be alone like mama, but it sounded like she didn't really mean it when she said it. Before that was like an afterthought. Like every blue moon she say that part about us getting married. But as far as what her she preached every day, get a job, J-O-B, like Craig's dad on Friday, get J-O-B. That was her monologue. Job, everything. Mama, this is wrong with me. I could be talking about my period. Job, baby, job, get a job. So that's why I'm having issues right now, emotional issues right now, because I associate every problem in this life to equate to a job. Every time I had any issue, mom, this boy just broke my heart. Get a job. So and now that God, you know, but my mom isn't God, but I thought she was. Out of several people who I thought was God, even now, people play God all the time. So now that God is taking, my uncle said that too. He said it in an insensitive way, but he was right. So I'm saying it to myself, but not in the insensitive way that he said it. So God took that job away. I put faith in that job because that job was my everything. The job was how I kept the roof over my head. The job was how I kept cars. The job was, I thought that was how I kept women, but that never ceased. Women and men still coming. And kids still love me, and animals still, you know, the family dynamic is still there. But I'm lost without a job. Like that's because of my background and my upbringing. And my mom said, you don't get anywhere in life without a job, baby. She never prepared me for, like, what if people gaslight you and crazy make you, and you know, what if your employers mess around with your job? Like, I had lots of things that led up to me being unemployed, like slashing my hours, different things, different unethical things that happened on the job. She never went over that with me. Like, you know, okay, getting the job, you have the job now, but then there are things that start to happen that are out of your control. And a pastor said this to me once, and I'm going to say it like he said it. He was very sensitive. He said, remember that God is always in control. So this whole time about me and worrying about a job, God is in control. So God took the job from me for a reason. And the pastor, every now and again, this thing, I gotta scratch it. I would get a good pastor and he'd say, when somebody who I love died, I've been walking down that alley. My bump's been getting proactive. His pastor would say to me, God took that person for a reason, baby, honey, sweetheart, just different. Baby, he took that person for a reason. I'm like, but it hurts. But That felt so good what you said. He took that person for a reason. He took that job for a reason. And he sometimes, mother, when she was sipping the bubbly, would say, baby, you don't understand right now, but one day soon you'll understand why he did that. Why he took a man away from you, took a boy from you, why he took a job, why he every blue moon mama would be encouraging. And yeah, he'd like right now it don't make sense to me, you know, the job loss. I'm like, you need the job to keep the roof over your head, but now today's jobs nowadays, the jobs that I was landing wasn't enough to pay rent. And he give and he take away. I don't know if that's in the Bible, but it sounds good to hear people say that God gives and he takes away. So he took the job away, and it's been running me crazy out of my mind ever since, because that's my whole identity. Like, that's how my mom taught me. I don't know what she taught my brothers. That applied to them. I paid attention what applied to me for the most part. And the job thing applied to me, so that's how I saw my identity. And I won't rule out that employers probably picked up on that they saw that I didn't have men in my life that were providers, and they knew that I was dependent on that job for income. I won't rule out that that's why they started to attack that. They probably picked up on my emotions. And my uncle said that too. He said that job is your independence. But he said something I can't reveal publicly that was comforting to me. He said something very, very comforting. And I'm not going to peek that over in the public. But he was right. He was right. And yeah, having that job was, he's moving things around. He's moving things around, and he's just doing things, man. So but that I didn't want to carry that to my grave. That I based everything off a job and finding a job, and everything. I based everything on a job. Everything I had based on a job and shit. So yeah, I've lost my existence, you know. So I'm trying to I'm human. I'm a human now. I'm trying to. My uncle said something else I ain't gonna say public that helped me. I don't want to fall in the wrong hand, but yeah, it's just, you know, I can't help that, you know. Trying not to think about the fact that I don't have a job. I'm trying not to think that way. I'm pretty sure it'd be I've seen the opposite. I've seen the opposite with some women. I've seen some women who get married, and I've had a couple of them that I talked to that was never my friends. That these women was actually nice to me and not bragging about it. And I ain't gonna say who they are and where they were, but they was like, damn, you know, I ain't never had a job before, because my husband was the breadwinner, but he lost his job, so now I gotta work. And they was like, I'm a stay-at-home wife and I don't know what to do. Like, but all I know is I gotta get a job and I don't know what to do. I'm lost. So I've met people in the reverse. That's human nature. So imagine what I'm doing, the reverse of what they doing. Had a job, lost my job, working in reverse. That's what it's supposed to be like with me and Kylie. Even though I work, when Kylie and I get married, I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I work. So my life is working to the reverse. And then, because I'm used to working and being the breadwinner, reverse these people who I met in my old life, and they were saying husband was the breadwinner, lost his job, so they don't know what to do because they've been stay-at-home wife their whole life, their whole adult life, most of their youth. Some people get married when they're teenagers, depending on your state. And so So where we left off in our story is there's a guy with his hand in her mouth in the photo, some strange hand, and I'm sitting there laughing at it and getting a kick out of it. And even now makes me we get each other's humor. Nobody was laughing at our shit until we started connecting online. Like, I think that Kylie is hilarious, and she feels the same about me, and nobody really saw our humor until we start connecting online and everything, and so um, I don't know if people ever stop worrying. I don't know if that's just human nature. I don't know if you reach a level of faith and comfort to where you just don't worry about anything. I don't know if that's just human nature and it stays that way for the rest of your days. Pastors don't preach like this. I don't know. The ones that are married, are they happy? Is anybody happily married? I don't know. You probably never reach a level of full comfort in this life because God is always using his people. He's always using you even on into the afterlife. So I'm gonna say something that pastors don't cover. I'm gonna say what he's telling me right now. This is what my uncle told me. This I will say publicly. There's always gonna be tribulation, trouble in your life. There's always gonna be trouble. If it was no, Usher Raymond said it best, if it was no humps in life, it'd be nothing to get over. If it was no humps in life, he would have nothing to show you. It would be no lesson learned. And so it's not going to be a perfect life with Kylie, with no adversity. Kylie and I are going to have adversity. It's not going to be, my uncle said until we get to heaven. But I'm thinking it's trouble in heaven. I'm thinking, there is, but he's right. It's got to be better than this. Heaven has got to be better than earth. And in my omens, Kylie is heaven on earth. She creates heaven for us, and so we worry about things. The two of us, it's human nature to worry about things, but we don't worry about them. We get through it together, and we don't worry about it. Like I'm worrying right now, but God is still letting me know, as long as your body is made of flesh and you are not in heaven and you are not in heaven is the spirit world, then you are definitely going to be worried about a lot of things. And the only difference is you're just gonna you gotta have those little, my mother used to say, surround yourself with it. Have different things that remind you of God's love, different things. The snake I told you about, that I want that snake tattoo in my omen. I am a snake owner. Kylie lets me do, I ain't gonna say what the fuck I want, but lots of shit. Like, she lets me have pet snakes, and I'm not gonna get into all the other things that she lets me do on our property, but I have several pet snakes, and now that I know they have biblical meaning, I'm really super excited. I forgot about that snake in the story of Moses. And our fans love hearing about Kylie and us. So before I let y'all go for the night, and I'm probably not gonna be gone for the night because God is calling me now. He might allow me to rest some. I'm irritated with God because of my toothache, and the foods that I've been eating is very acidic. And it worked my jaw. And I'm irritated that I have to keep going down here facing Manny, Like, I'm irritated with God, like that I have to even breathe the same air. And that's a tiny, small ass library. And that's a big ass motherfucker, you know. There's a lot of people that are sucking the air out in the room, and the guy keeps leading me down there. I'm not mad at these women, but I'm not a stay-at-home husband, a stay-at-home wife that's got to cower and live and never had to leave home in the protection of never had to face any bullies. There are some husbands like that. They just they deal with their wives' bullies. They don't allow her to interact with men. When delivery guys come over, they talk to delivery guys. All the men that were my abusers, all the men I was with, they did not want to face any delivery guys we had come over. They used to make me go and be the guy. So, you know, I don't know what to say, but that movie that I prayed it one day Kylie and I can watch it together, Cabin in the Sky. It's one of my favorite movies. I watched it with one of my old life people. I'm not gonna say who I watched that movie with, and he really did connect with me watching that movie. And it's a very touching movie. It puts things into perspective for anybody who has questions about God. And he really, it really grabbed him. And my mother did not. She said, I don't know what it is about this movie that you really loved it so much. She just couldn't get into a Cabin in the Sky. But somebody else I showed that movie to, he really enjoyed it. And it grabbed him and it made sense. And he got his life right for a little while, you know. He's back to backsliding now, but I didn't want him to be the only person that I tell that movie about, like tell people about that movie. But I'm praying that one day me and Kylie can watch it together. That's why she made me drink a lot of alcohol, because of like the stress I'm under right now. And Grandma never went this deep into talking to me about how to solve problems, and my mother never taught us how to solve problems. I'm not gonna say who, why, what, where I've learned how to solve problems, but I, over the course of my lifetime, found a way to solve problems, and I had been doing it somewhat before I found out the golden ticket to how to solve problems. But when I found out the key, the trick to solving problems, my life went through some changes. So right now, and yeah, and then some mother never taught us how to solve problems, but I figured that one out from some source, and I put it that way. And but yeah, I'm praying that me and Kylie link up soon. I forgot who taught me that link up. I said, I hope that we can link up soon. And because I'm fading without you, baby. And I feel like I'm getting too old. Like I want to meet her. I'm like, damn, I hope it ain't 40 years from now. I'm already too old for her shit. I'll be all wrinkly and gray by the time she see me. So I'm trying to see her, you know, while I'm still on the kind of the younger side. And, trying to see her, and while we both still young, while we both still tell you something else interesting about our marriage. Now I'm gonna tell you something about our marriage. We my amnesia from my concussion and my Alzheimer's gets so bad in our marriage. that she has to remind me every day who she is. It's heartbreaking that I finally find love and she finally found love, and at some point she gets it. She gets some memory loss, and we two of us have to remind each other each day of who we are. And people, anybody who's ever experienced somebody who has Alzheimer's, then you know what I'm talking about. It is very, you have to having to remind your loved one. You see that shit? This guy getting my attention. I gotta figure this shit out. My God. Jesus, Lord have mercy. Talk about freaky and spooky. This is out of my hair. Oh my God. So, I'm gonna tell y'all another story. I'm gonna tell you something, and maybe I can steal from these pastors and give y'all some goodies and some treats, some spiritual goodies and treats. Not no actual candy, at least not right now. All right, so pastors used to have parables and stuff and stories they tell us each week, each Sunday and each Wednesday. And they have these different stories that they'd